Thanks to the new Daemon dig site, there's now a full AFK Dungeoneering token and XP farming method that does not involve leeching or combat. Whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. The method itself is really straightforward, so if all you want to know is what the method is about, well, you're going to be delighted to hear how simple it really is. The method requires level 77 archaeology and consists of completing the Dragonkin 5 archaeology collection log. This collection belongs to Sharagon, who can be found at the Anachronia base camp. To complete the collection log, you'll need to excavate and restore 4 different artifacts from 2 different spots at the surface area of the Daemon dig site. These spots are the level 73 Castle Hall rubble and the level 77 tunneling equipment repository. By completing the Dragonkin 5 collection log, you'll gain 2 large Dungeoneering token boxes, which is quite a substantial amount of tokens depending on your Dungeoneering level. In addition to tokens, you'll also get chronodes for each artifact, which will help offset the cost of the additional materials you'll need to buy to restore all artifacts, at least when the material prices have stabilized. Now you're probably wondering how many Dungeoneering tokens you can gain per hour. Well, based on my testing, it will take you just under 4 minutes per artifact with a high-level archaeology setup. This means it will take you less than 16 minutes to get a full collection log completed. Now, I don't have access to all the upgrades or the best mattock, but my setup is pretty close. If you're wondering why, I ended up getting 120 archaeology before bothering to get all the precision upgrades and the mattock of time and space. If you'd like to increase your artifacts per hour, you can use the following buffs on screen. Making the method more AFKable is also really important, so if you have access to something like a Grace of the Elves, which you can load up with Signs of the Porter charges to auto-back materials, then that would help. If you have the Premier Club artifact, go ahead and use that as well. The auto-screener is a no-brainer here, as it's a huge help, removing the need to put soil in your archaeology soil box. Alright, the thing you'll want to know, the Dungeoneering token per hour rate. Now, as I couldn't really remove my upgrades, even when just, not using the outfit, the relic power and so on, I couldn't really get a truly slow completion rate, so I simply ended up rough mathing it and saying the slow rate is 50% of the fast rate and the medium rate is something in between. This should be a good indication if this is something worth doing for you or not. If you have the exact same setup as I do, you can expect up to 140,000 Dungeoneering tokens per hour here if you're level 120 Dungeoneering. If you have a slightly lesser setup, you can still expect up to 104,000 Dungeoneering tokens per hour, and even if you're something like a level 90 Dungeoneering player, 59,000 Dungeoneering tokens per hour for something you can fully AFK and doesn't require combat or Dungeoneering is a nice alternative, especially if you're not able to do elite dungeons by yourself. And if for some reason you excavate extremely slowly, you'll still be able to gain up to 70,000 Dungeoneering tokens per hour. And if your goal is to level Dungeoneering instead, you can always convert those tokens one-on-one to Dungeoneering experience at this NPC. In conclusion, I think this is a really good alternative way of getting Dungeoneering tokens, especially if you're not able to solo elite dungeons and do those token farming methods. Yes, it's slower, but it's fully AFKable. I think a lot of players, especially Iron Man, are going to be using this to get their very first Charming Imp. If this video helped, be sure to drop a like down below and maybe even consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.